Today we're checking out some more SJWs on compilation. If you guys enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe. Let's get right into it.
Know that less than 10% of rapes are actually reported
Okay, where's that?
to the cops.
Where's that?
It's from all of the women's organizations. You can look it up online. You can find it through the socialized organizations that study rape. I participate with an organization that works as a rape crisis center. We base that on the number of calls. The police know, based on the unofficial reports, the third-party reporting, and the direct reports. This is not a secret that about 10% of rapes are reported.
So how do you know 10% of rapes are reported if the others aren't?
Because those people call the women's centers, they ask for help, they seek medical attention.
So they are reported.
I do.
That's why I was confused. I was like, if you're getting all this information, it's obviously it's being reported, which is a good thing, because I know of people that went through that. It's very traumatizing, all right? But it's being reported. You just said it's not. But then you went and said they go to the medical facilities, they call in. So that's being reported. This is part where they say, think before you speak.
The women's centers, they ask for help, they seek medical attention.
So they are reported.
I do agree that there is stigma that I have to deal with because I am fat, but I'm actually really in celebration of my body. I find beauty in diversity. I think we come in all shapes and sizes. And the assumption that we've dealt with a lot on this show is that just because you're obese, you must overeat. You must have an eating disorder. I know that not to be the case. I know you can have a healthy relationship.
Now, Mimi, you say this is misleading. Go have at it a little bit.
Well, I certainly think that we all want to feel good about ourselves. That's understandable. I don't think people should feel demeaned by their size. And I also couldn't agree more with the message of daily exercise. No matter what size you are, you'll certainly benefit from daily exercise. You can't be healthy without that. But then let's talk about where we disagree. Look, if you want to feel good about yourself, it's impossible to feel good about yourself when you're doing something that's self-destructive. Also, self-destructive behaviors that result in damage or debilitation or even disfigurement to the body, that's never going to be perceived as beautiful.
The thing is that I think that the HAES approach, the health at every size approach, has been documented to work. And it's been documented to work year after year.
What do you mean work? What do you mean work? Because a health at every size is a lie. If you starve yourself into damage, that's unhealthy. Or if you eat yourself into damage, that's not healthy.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
That's just not.
Here,
that's not true.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
That's like saying
about
that.
Weight
Let's
being
say you were a smoker.
self-destructive.
Let's say you're a smoker and have black lungs, and you try to say that's healthy because you don't have cancer yet. We know that it is actually factual that obesity is dangerous, and it's connected to cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's. We even know it's connected to an increase in birth defects. So there's nothing left to debate.
Mimi?
It's not beautiful. It's not healthy.
Well, you know, $15 an
I didn't gotta say nothing. Also, heart disease. You know what? I think Lizzo needs to watch that, because she's still out here complaining that people don't accept her for who she is. People are body shaming her. You're the one that's coming out here wearing these ridiculous outfits, your booty out. You're wearing these short, tight-fitted clothes. Why don't you wear clothes your size? Then nobody won't have to say this about you. You're the one that's putting this on front display. Now you're acting like, oh, I'm happy in the body that I'm in. You tell other people they should be happy with being that size. But you're not telling them the other side of the coin, what comes with that. Diabetes, heart disease, heart attack, stroke, high blood pressure. No, you're not going to tell them all of that, right? See, this is what you're misguiding your own audience. I didn't even see that.
hour, first of all, as we said, it's not enough of a wage, but it is a substantial improvement. And this is what workers have put forward. Fast food workers themselves courageously took their lives into their own hands, walked out of their jobs in a one-day strike in New York City, and demanded $15 an hour. And that is the first step, because the economy is not going to remain static. We have to fight for affordable housing. We have to fight for better services in terms of mass transit, education, healthcare, and that is why we have to also talk about taxing the super wealthy and big corporations.
Well, I mean, of course, one government policy leads to the next. If you raise the minimum wage, then it's going to raise the rents. When it raises the rents, you're going to have to build affordable housing. When you have to build affordable housing, you have to tax people to build the affordable housing. When you tax people to build the affordable housing, people move out of the city, and you have to raise taxes on the people who remain in the city, and this is how you hollow out the economy of a major metropolitan area in the United States.
Only,
Ben just broke that down like, hey, like it was nothing. You guys noticed, right? As soon as we got that, I'm talking about for New York. I'm not sure about other states, but in New York, since we got that, they raised the minimum wage to $15. You guys noticed, right? You know they got wars in Ukraine, inflation. You see where this is going? So you just got that minimum wage raised for what? You know, you got inflation. Everything almost double in price. So it's like you. So it's like you ask for that, but then you get something else in return. Eggs, for what, dozen of eggs is what? Almost $8? It used to be like $2.69. All right, if you want a real top quality, it doesn't. It's probably close to $4. But still, it's still double in price. So that minimum wage went up. Was it worth it now? It sucks because you see people doing what they gotta do just to get by day to day, buy groceries. I used to spend like what? I have 2 kids. I used to spend like what? A week? It lasts a little longer than a week. But I spent like about almost $200 in food and stuff like that. Because that's when it was cheaper. Now, $200 is like I didn't buy nothing. So now I gotta spend almost $400. See? That's how they get you. You know what they always say? Be careful what you ask for.
There's a very thick line between being politically incorrect and being racist. And words matter. So when a community of people that has been perpetually marginalized at institutions across America over history feels offended, we should acknowledge that. And I think that these protests are a reflection of a community of minorities that feel unacknowledged and not respected. And so, Ben, I read your article today, and I was shocked by the language you used. You were saying that it's time for the right
call the police
to
right now.
fight. Yeah. No, but you
Just
really
to call the police.
Evidence. All this is screaming and feelings. How about like a shred of evidence, even for the incidents
There
that
is
actually
evidence.
happened
The
in Missouri
police
that drove this? Really? Where was the police report exactly when it came to, for example, the first N-word incident that led all of this? There was no police report on any of that. In the second incident, at the N-word at the University of Missouri, the administration investigated, and the kid's under investigation. In the third incident with the cop car, with the car hitting the
Let me
desk.
just ask you this, because we're short on time. You tell me, Namiki, whether we are training these kids to be little cupcakes who never have to encounter anything offensive, assuming everything you said is offensive. They never have to encounter it because they can call the cops or they can get their administrators fired, or whether it's better to educate them that there are offensive things in life, there are insulting things in life, there are people who will say very incorrect or impolite things about you, politically incorrect things about you, very publicly and in a way that you might feel very offended by, and you have to deal with that in life.
I think people understand that, but I think that, this is a blame the victim situation. We should be ridding the world of bigotry. We should be talking about that rather than blaming it on the victim who feels hurt, disrespected on campus, who doesn't feel heard by their administrators.
I love that utopia. It doesn't exist. It's not realistic. It does not exist. Good luck getting rid of all the bigotry.
The victim.
Well, we can
all the
look at
bigotry.
it.
We're just going to wipe the world. We'd love to, but it's not reality.
They literally just fired a white guy for being a white guy, and he's the victim.
Okay, I got to go.
Not true.
Great debate. Thank you both for.
As Ben Shapiro said, I believe Ben. Ben always comes with facts. That's a fact. We gotten too soft. Like, you can't get rid of that. That is something you're just gonna have to live with. Is either you're gonna have tough skin, or you're just gonna be soft. You gotta grow that tough skin. I think ever since like 2010, 12, 13, as slowly you start to see it happening. People start getting softer and softer. No, you can't even say anything. You say something, I'm offended. It's like you can't get rid of that. Grow a tough skin. Sorry, the world is tough. How you think you're gonna be rich and successful? You gotta work hard. It's almost like trying to get rid of hate. Hate's been here since the beginning of time, and it's still here. You gonna get rid of it. Just gotta be real tough skin. That's it. People are too soft. It's just sad to see where we at right now in the times that we are. People are so soft. You can't even get hard workers anymore. I'm a manager overnight. You can't get hard workers anymore. It's come to work and they're tired. They can't keep their eyes open because all they're probably playing video games, playing on their phones all day. Time to go to work to be a responsible adult. You're an adult now. You can't even do that. We got too soft. You will never get rid of people being rude, disrespectful. That's just the way it is. It's always been like that. Toughen up, Buttercup. Like she said, raise it to be little cupcakes. No. You gotta raise the kids to know that the world, some people you're gonna encounter, you're gonna have tough skin. Some people are not gonna be always nice to you like how I'm nice to you. I gotta get you ready for that. That's what people gotta start doing for their kids. You guys let me know in the comments.
And they're
Can you explain
jerks.
to me why in Chicago during Father's Day weekend 13 people were killed, 53 were injured by guns when they have some of the strongest gun laws in America? Can you explain that to me?
They don't have strong gun laws in America because any idiot can buy a gun.
In Chicago.
Any idiot can buy a gun from a gun show or on the internet, and there
Yes,
are
and
no
they can buy it
background
illegally
checks.
as well when they're banned.
But back here.
Not
here in the
not
UK.
if you have background checks, and not if you
No,
have.
I'm saying they can buy it
strictly-
illegally.
No,
They can buy it illegally.
This
There's
is
no background checks when buying things illegally.
this is precisely why you and the Libertarian Party in Canada and the Libertarian Party in America have no credibility. You are completely disregarded as a
These are
political
personal
force.
attacks, sir. These are personal attacks, not arguments.
There's a group of
Well, what she said? Wait, what? Why you got personal with her? She's telling you the truth. You don't need background checks. You ain't got to go through none of this. You got to show identification. If you're buying it illegally. You heard the word illegally? I don't think he heard that word, right? I think that went over his head. She said illegally. So it doesn't matter what laws you put out. They're still going to get their hands on those guns. Regardless. How you think criminals get their guns? How you think felons get their guns? They know they can't go to the gun store because they got to run a background check on them. So you know what they're going to do. Get it illegally, like she just said it. I hate people get into their feelings. Like my favorite quote from Ben Shapiro, man, facts over feelings. It's facts. Doesn't matter what law you put out, what you try to do, a criminal is going to get his hands on a gun regardless.
Women that were here and they're wishing to withdraw consent to use the footage that you had, I guess, gotten. So can you please make sure that is done and make sure that any of the stuff that they have...
We may or we may not use the footage. It is a public area, so we do have legal rights to use the footage.
But you interviewed them specifically, right? So
yes, and they gave us consent to interview them.
Well, now they're withdrawing it, so...
That's not how it works, but...
Which is interesting given the event that you're at, right? That's a little bit contradictory.
I mean, it's a little bit contradictory.
Well, if
I totally say it. That's not how it works.
Well,
you can't just withdraw consent the next,
Well, that's interesting.
Why is that interesting?
It's just I don't know.
No. Tell me.
A rally for rapists, consent and withdrawing consent, saying no means no. They're saying no, and you're saying that
Okay, so if someone gives consent the night before, and then they have listen. If they have sex with a man and they give consent to him, then the next day decide, oh, I regret it. I'm going to report him for being a rapist, even though I gave him consent. You're saying that's okay?
So you're sounding a little bit like a 12-year-old because it's.
Sounding like a 12-year-old. Yeah, here we go again. Get into her feelings. She's just saying, how is that okay? Answer the question. So you try to reverse the role, said she's acting like a 12-year-old, but meanwhile, you're the ones acting like a 12-year-old because you can't answer her question. It's either she asked you, is that okay? So is it yes or no?
Is it on? Okay. I want to get paid the same as a man, and I think you understand that. So if you become president, will a woman make the same as a man, and do I get to choose what I do with my body?
What?
You're going to make the same if you do as good a job.
You'll get the same pay if you do good as a job. That's it. You see, that's why people didn't like President Trump. Trump tell it like it is. I didn't agree with everything that he said, but Trump, he would tell you like it is. That's it. If you could do the same job, feel free, go ahead. You could do the same exact job that he's doing without asking, nope. You gotta do the same thing that he's doing. You get the same pay.
Yeah, I was going to say that I feel like it's incredibly patronizing for you to paint these questions this way, especially as a white man. I don't expect you to be able to understand what people of color are actually saying with regards to cancel Colbert. He has a history of making jokes.
Sorry, being a white man doesn't prevent me from being able to think, and doesn't prevent me from being able to have reasoned perspectives on things. I didn't give up my right to be able to have an intellectual conversation when I was born.
I know, but well, white men definitely feel like they're entitled to talk over me. They definitely feel like they're entitled to kind of minimalize my experiences, and they definitely feel like they are somehow exempt and so logical compared to women who are painted as emotional, right?
No.
Hey, didn't she just say white men feel like they have the rights and the privilege to just talk over somebody? Didn't she just talk over him when he was talking to her? And he said when she was talking, he was being very respectable. When it's time to speak, as he's talking, she cut him right off. So she's complaining about something that she's currently doing. I tell you.
They are somehow exempt and so logical compared to women who are painted as emotional, right?
No one's minimalizing your experiences. No one's minimalizing your right to have an opinion. It's just a stupid opinion. I mean, it's a misunderstanding of what satire is.
You just called my opinion
stupid.
You just called my opinion stupid. That's incredibly unproductive, and I don't think I'm going to enact the labor of having to explain to you why that's incredibly offensive and patronizing.
Explain.
I just told you I wouldn't enact that labor.
Okay, thanks for being with us, Sui.
That he has a right to his own opinion. He doesn't mean he has to agree with your opinion. He does think your opinion is stupid. That's it. That is right. He has a right to his own opinion, right? Wow.
Let me just stop you so you don't waste a line of questioning. I'm just giving you...
I love the mansplaining. I'm enjoying it.
You're loving what?
The mansplaining that's going on.
What do you
Well, just talking me through how by not answering the question, by repeating processes which are not related to the question that I've asked.
What's mansplaining, Senator?
Well, it's the slightly patronising and condescending way that you're responding to my questions.
Well, I would suggest, Senator, that if you're putting the word man in front of some description of what I'm doing, you're doing that which I'm sure you're very much against, is making a sexist implication about how I'm conducting my role as a man.
Well, then the easiest way to do it...
Is that what you're saying, Senator?
Well, what I'm saying is that the way you've been responding to me has been patronising and condescending, and I have responded to that. So the easiest way to deal with this is not to have that way in responding to the questions I've asked.
Imagine the reaction, Senator, if I said you were woman-splaining. You're saying that I'm mansplaining.
Well, it is a term that's used.
Is it by whom?
Well, it is a term that's used.
By rude senators. By senators who are seeking to make gender an issue. Stop being a hypocrite.
Well,
conduct yourself appropriately for this place.
I'm sorry you're so offended by the use of the word. It is a word that's used. I'm surprised that you're so shocked by the use of the word.
No, I'm just calling hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. Thy name is Labor. Thy name is Senator Gallagher.
I love when you see in this clip. I pretty much said everything I had to say in the video. I just want to say I like how in these clips people contradict the very same thing that they're against. Like he said at the end, shit, hypocrisy. Because the same thing you're against is what you inflicting on him. Especially in those type of environment, you think it'd be more professional and call him by his name. She didn't do that. Alright, if you guys enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Leave a thumbs up. And hey, if you enjoy the channel, hit that subscribe button. Until then, I'll catch you guys next video. Peace out. You guys have a blessed day.